Brewers Banquet. This ain't brewing tradition since 1873. When you're the favorite beer of rock stars and cowboys.
Dead Space is officially 10 years old. That's a long time. A good horror game is a lot like a hot girl who isn't crazy. They're basically extinct nowadays.
Hey, that really sucked!
Which is why we're gonna take a trip back to 2008 and revisit one of the scariest brick-shitting video games ever made. Dead Space. You might have noticed that AAA publishers and developers in recent years have kind of alienated, pun intended, the horror genre of gaming. Maybe it's because the subgenre of survival was hijacked by Minecraft and handed to a bunch of early access garbage that has since tarnished the reputation of survival games beyond repair. But seriously, in the last 8 years, we've had a good Resident Evil game, a couple shitty ones, The Evil Within 1 and 2, and not much else comes to mind as far as AAA games go. The indie market is really where the horror genre shines. What happened to companies wanting to scare the pants off their consumers? Perhaps survival horror just isn't as marketable a concept as it used to be. Or maybe it's because it's hard to create a scary video game when you're trying to sell loot boxes. No, wait, that's the best way to put fear in gamers. But seriously, Dead Space is a one-of-a-kind experience. There's nothing out there that feels quite like it. Now, before you go down to the comments, obviously, the developers at Visceral Games, God bless their souls, rest in peace, press F in the chat to pay respects, took heavy inspiration from Resident Evil 4's over-the-shoulder perspective, aiming and inventory management systems. The similarities are striking, to say the least. Now, speaking of systems, did you know Dead Space was originally going to be System Shock 3? It was actually the release of Resident Evil 4 that caused the studio to rethink their approach with it, giving us the product we have now. This is a perfect case of a company taking inspiration from one thing and replicating it in a way to create something new and fresh without being just a blatant rip-off. We are concerned that Dead Space may be replicating the experience that Resident Evil 4 is known for. Ha! You thought I was finished with that meme? Where you at, Blue Hole? Pieces of shit? Getting back on track, Dead Space is officially 10 years old. That's a long time for a horror game. Has the critical environment suddenly by the space vacuum of time? Are the scares still scary? Do the gameplay mechanics and graphics hold up to this day? And was the story and universe any good or interesting? Well, let's go. Head down to...
There's a hole again, this hole. From visual contact.
What if we just find a crack on the class? It looks like they already popped the board.
Why is it so dark? We should be able to see our running lights.
Yeah. I'll get us into the healing range. Someone's gotta be waiting up for us.
Just be careful on the approach. I'm not taking any chances with CNC's bright doing.
No chances,
The
huh?
Dead Space
Is
franchise
that why
is
you were
pretty
taking
unique
into
in how it
personal
progressed
files
over the
before
years, with each
Check
game
the
being
files.
radically different than the last.
Computer analyst.
And nowhere is this more apparent than in the
I ran
marketing
standard
commercials
CNC
and
background checks
advertisements.
with Simmons.
Dead Space 1 was very clearly portrayed as a brutal horror game in the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star trailer. It was pretty intriguing, terrifying, really drew you in. First time watching it, I knew this would be a game that would make me shit my pants and somehow make me enjoy it. Flash forward to Dead Space 2 and what we got for advertisements was...
This is a USG television.
I think it'll make a person become insane.
It's violent.
Someone pick up the
It's
dance.
a really loving game. And your mom's gonna hate it.
What hole is that?
It's not like their communication array is
Dead
busted.
Space 2.
Maybe broken encoder.
Looking back,
Daniels
it's
and I can
pretty
handle
goddamn
48
crazy,
hours
but at the
max.
time, it almost made me want to show my mom this game.
Is this
She
still
would
a
definitely
cutscene?
be one of those moms. As funny as it is, it's just not big for a horror game to be so self-aware and trying to be cool. Of course, Dead Space 3's marketing wasn't as bad, but they were just generic and boring.
So that's Isaac.
I'm trying to show you this how scary these games marketing and present. Dead Space 1 comes approximately straight away.
Second system override is responsible.
The game starts off with a loading screen cutscene that establishes the basics of the set. Vicious marketing gives us the what, where, and why. Which gets us to the way that
Which one again?
review.
What is going on?
One channel, It's up to the crew of the USG Kellion to diagnose and fix the ship. The crew consists of Kendra Daniels, computer specialist, Zach Hammond, the chief security officer, a couple of guys who are gonna die, and Isaac Clark, ship system specialist, and the protagonist of the plane.
What the fuck's going on with flight control? That guidance system's a death trap.
Better have you talk to you. Jen, what's our...
Copter down. Lost port booster.
I'm sorry
Got
about
a fire in one of the stabilizers and simulator parts. Could be worse, but not that much.
Let's get some help. Johnston, stay with Kelly.
We learned that
Send
Isaac's
back.
journey to
Everyone else?
Ishimura is
With me.
personal, as his girlfriend Nicole is stationed there. And naturally, he wants to get some of that puss.
Ah!
There ain't gonna be no time for that, Isaac. Now, one thing that has always bugged me, and maybe it's because of
Can I walk now?
how the plot is working in the background, we'll get to that later, but if humanity is so dependent on these external resources from other planets, and the USG Ishimura is such a highly valuable ship, you'd think they'd send more than like 4 people there to go and fix
Where
it and
in the
diagnose
frick
what's
am I
wrong.
going?
But again, they could just be, part of
You know what? Screw this.
twist near the end. Anyways, so your rescue ship crashes onto the Ishimura,
I
and it's up
can't.
to Isaac and the gang
I can't
to
do this.
figure out what's going on.
Seems like everyone was trying to pack in a hurry.
With the
The
brightness,
place seems deserted,
it's
and you gotta walk
ridiculous.
into this room, press a button, and yeah, pretty
Screw it.
self-explanatory.
I'm doing like
You see a damage
40.
report pop up on that floating mini screen. That's a cool way to display the information to us, and oh, what's that? Some sort of lockdown procedure, I guess.
What was that?
What the hell?
I don't know. Something's in the room with us.
Not sure what's gonna.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
God!
okay.
What the hell is that shit? Oh Lord!
Oh, I can see a little bit better.
Jesus! We
I don't know where the
lost
frick
two
I'm
men.
going.
Run, you piece
It's
of
right
shit.
here.
Come on! Open the fucking door!
Where'd they go?
Alright, I'm safe in the elevator.
How'd I run? How'd I do something?
I'm safe in the
Oh wait, it was hallway. I don't know what they can do.
We made it. I can't believe we made it.
Where are you guys?
Son, you just ran across the hall.
Oh, you're down over
Let's
here.
not throw a
Why am I walking so
fix
slowly?
this shit.
I was lost back
The
there.
University of Utah is set against the Wasatch Mountains.
That was ridiculous.
Ride and climb those mountains. As one of the leading research
I'm climb the
universities in the
skip button. How's that?
Now, we'll get into the story of Dead Space down the line, but for now, I'd like to talk about the game's
my
presentation and how phenomenal it is stylistically. I knew right off the bat that Dead Space was going to be special the instant I saw this shot. The way it all comes into view, the ship, the planet, bits of debris floating around, it's the calm before the storm. The presentation of what happens in the game just feels so natural. Probably
This is
because
the
there are
calm
very
before
few
the storm.
instances where control is taken away from the player.
Isaac? Is that really you?
Just take a look at this scene near the end of Chapter 1, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Isaac is trying to repair the Kellion, but naturally there is no escape for our silent hero. And then, boom. Notice how after the ship explodes, you throw right into the combat, no loading screens. It's like it wasn't even a cutscene. That's the presentation I'm talking
What's that
about.
thing on his
I
chest?
can't reach
Good horror game needs to maintain immersion. Dead Space doesn't shatter that with countless unskippable cutscenes. And all the
Unlocked now?
scenes in-game are
Great.
rendered with the in-game graphics and assets, so when the plot is
Open.
moving along on screen, it feels the same as if you're just, shooting the necromorphs. A lot of times video games will, yank you out of the gameplay in order to show off some flashy Super HD cutscene. Blizzard games are a perfect example of this contrast in graphics, which can sometimes be pretty jarring. Here's Warcraft 3 gameplay, and here's a pre-rendered cutscene. Now, I'm not saying every game needs to abide by this idea. I'm just giving Dead Space and Visceral Games some much-needed credit and respect for making this decision because it adds so much to the presentation and feeling of the game. Aside from that, though, Dead Space is one of the most graphically sound video games I've ever seen. 10 years later, this game looks fantastic. It doesn't quite have the timeless art style of Halo 3, or, the cartoony visuals of Conquer Life and Reloaded, or something like Super Mario Sunshine. All these games that look good years down the line,
Open!
there's something to be said for that. And it's hard to find a spot in Dead Space in the entire game
What am I
God,
doing?
that looks really bad now. The graphics are just fantastic.
Where?
And once again, presentation
frick am I doing?
in a horror game is so important. So when the visuals
I don't know what you're talking
maintain this
about.
level of quality 10 years later, and I don't feel like I'm playing a butt-fucking ugly game, that's incredible. What's interesting is the world of Dead Space is captivating for the
What's happening
same
here?
reasons that I talked about in my Dark Souls Masterpiece video. The universe feels cohesive and logically sound because every part of Dead Space functions in a way that
What
relates to the story
is the objective?
or in gameplay. Think about the settings and the characters. Isaac is an engineer, repairman, aboard a vessel whose purpose is to
Where
mine
the
resources.
frick is it?
And Zach Hammond is a security officer, so, you know, obviously these planet crackers have some sort of military backing in case shit goes wrong.
I don't
With this
see
in mind,
anything.
you look at the weapons,
Is it
they
this?
feel
No.
more like tools. You know, the plasma cutter would probably be something
Was it in here?
used to clip wires or cut out
Yeah,
a piece
I
of
still don't
rock.
see nothing.
Basically a utility tool. The force gun would likely
Yeah,
be
so
used to
I'm-
push rocks and debris along.
I'm kind of like a
You
noob.
might look at
I don't know
stasis
what
as something
the
developers
heck I'm
put
doing.
into the
It's my
game
first
so the
time
player
playing
can
this.
slow down the necromorphs and maneuver around
I've
easier.
had it for several
But
months.
being around all this huge, dangerous
locked.
equipment, you know, it's probably useful for
Oh,
crew
it's
members to
security
slow parts of
console.
the ship down in order to move
Oh,
around and
wait.
fix stuff. And it's entirely feasible to think that this many years in the future with such advanced technology that they've created stasis or some sort of time-slowing thing. And the zero-G areas aren't just a gimmick. You're in fucking space. There's gonna be zero gravity sometimes. And it's like when you start using your imagination and connecting the dots between weapons, locations, this universe, the suits,
I think they're gonna die.
the way everything functions, it all makes perfect sense. Of course, you feel like it's showing your life bar, your ammo, map screen, menus, all
No,
that
no,
shit.
no, no, no,
One of
no,
the
no,
most
no,
unique
no.
aspects of Dead Space is the way it presents all the information to the player.
They're gonna
The
die in
suit
there.
is the perfect example. While it would have been easy to just slide
You
over
guys are gonna
to the
die.
top left corner with a stasis spear and ammo down the bottom right, just like every other game. The designers took the opportunity to set
Still, I'm thinking I'm moving my throat. Hey, we're done.
Ammo is displayed above the barrel, so for the tools to tell you
Oh my god, I don't know where the frick I'm at. Dude, it is so dark, I can't see anything. Yeah, I get lost real quick on this.
And if they wanted to read journal logs or
is
listen to audio recordings, you know, whether they
crazy.
send each other stuff like, hey, go fix this shit. Well, the suit covers all those bases too. And the neatest part about it is whenever something's
gotta
playing or you're reading
look
a
at,
log or looking
display
at the
or
map
something.
screen, you can still move Isaac.
That's brightness
It's
more.
not a pause menu.
Like
What's funny is
50.
I don't think anyone would have complained, noticed,
Okay,
or
do
cared
50.
if the journal, map screen, inventory,
I gotta
waypoints,
see.
ammo, health, all that were displayed in the traditional
This way?
manner. But it's because
Elevator?
of this
Elevator?
video games that Dead Space is different, that it makes it one of the most vivid
Yes.
aspects.
No, activate. Activate. Just do something. I don't have any weapons right now.
Is an invaluable asset for creating an authentic and captivating single-player experience. And Dead Space is able to utilize all these elements I talked about, from storytelling, world-building, and gameplay mechanics to great success. And it makes the Ishimura and the Dead Space universe feel so real and immersive.
Can I crouch? What the heck
Talking
is
about
that?
combat in Dead Space, there's no question it's a masterpiece in my
Oh,
eyes.
that's cool.
It's crazy how simple the idea for the gameplay was. Hey, let's make a game where shooting the head isn't the easiest way to kill things. Bam, there you go. Unique gameplay achieved. Dismember the limbs. Isaac Clarke might be an engineer, but he's also an expert in creating quadriplegics. His boots are also made of just the strongest material possible, as one stomp can dismember several limbs. Each weapon has their own unique laser sight, and it takes time getting used to. But they also have an alternate firing method, which I always thought was
L2
something shooters
hold
should do a lot
primary
more
fire.
of. It gives each weapon a sort of backup way to
R1
handle a
rotate
situation.
projectiles.
You need to be precise to kill the necromorphs. Thing is, it's hard to be precise and aim for the limbs when they're sprinting full speed at you, flailing all around. So sometimes you panic shoot,
Okay.
but, oh shit, you miss, and it scares you even more because the enemy isn't dead, but you just wasted ammo, and now you have to reload, and you're vulnerable, and you just pissed your pants. There's a lot of neat mechanics in Dead Space that differentiate it from other shooters and other horror games. Kinesis is really cool and versatile, allowing you to pick up items from far away. Oftentimes you can find some secret stashes of weapons or health packs floating off in the distance that would otherwise be unreachable.
Oh, I figured that box meant something.
Which can stun them, but isn't all that useful unless you're trying to conserve
I
ammo.
won this
Kinesis
punch.
is also used to solve puzzles, open secret areas, all sorts of things. Kind of like what I talked about in my Halo Combat
cool.
Evolved review, the same applies here. In both games, every enemy type serves a specific function. Within a couple fights, you'll understand what each class of Necromorph does. You got the
Get off
standard
the way.
slasher, which is kind of like the cannon fodder of the Necromorphs. You see these guys more often than the others, and they can quickly overwhelm you if you're not careful. There's the leapers, which leap around and are commonly found in zero-G areas. These guys will pounce at you from every conceivable angle, so nowhere is truly safe. Lurkers are... No, this isn't StarCraft. Lurkers are reanimated babies? Man, we're killing babies now? Jesus. And they'll stay at range to pelt you with quills. So shoot those tentacles and use the line gun. Swarmers are little pests that do as their name suggests, and they'll whittle down your health if you're not careful. The Infector is definitely the scariest looking necromorph, as the only means of dismembering it is the proboscis, which only comes out when it starts to infect the body. Pro tip, if you see a lot of corpses in a room with nothing going on, lay the boot on them, because chances are a couple Infectors will pop up there later. Then there's the Pregnant, which functions similar to the Slasher, but is bulkier, slower, and... Ew, it poops out babies? Gross, man. Don't shoot the stomach. Brutes are basically the tanks from Left 4
Did I
Dead.
shoot that?
They serve as great boss fights throughout the game. Will absolutely punish you if you're not careful. But if you keep your stasis meter full, you can absolutely destroy them.
I don't want to waste my
Guardians
ammunition. I only
are
got 10
stationary. Shoot out
shots.
these little pods that will focus fire on the vehicles and keep you from projectiles. These guys are here to defend and lock down areas, so if you get too close to them, they might just slice your head off. The Hunter is basically invincible in the chapters you encounter it, and he puts pressure on you as you have to fight the other enemies around it. Take off its legs, hit it with some stasis and run away. Those are basically suicide grunts, but luckily those giant yellow ball sacks can be used to your advantage. Cut it off and throw it with kinesis, or shoot it directly, and you'll save yourself some ammo and a headache. Of course, the Divider is a big, lanky, and imposing creature that will split off once you do enough damage. Shooting the big man is one thing, but trying to hunt down and exterminate all its pieces is another. And last but not least, they're the Kinesis slashers, which are
horizontal,
insanely
not vertical.
fast. Even when they're crawling, man, take these guys out as fast as possible. What's really cool is how the game takes extra special care in introducing new enemy types. For example, we see the Lurker pin this helpless fool in a room filled with infants. I mean, that sets the stage pretty well, don't you think? And when we first fight the Infector, we see exactly how they reanimate corpses into even stronger necromorphs. We get a glimpse of the Brute in Chapter 5 before he smashes through the
Holy crud!
We get a glimpse of the Divider's pieces. But when we
This place ain't right now.
for the first time,
Yeah, it's not right.
as shit.
This kind of gives me like some Doom 3 vibes.
That low howl.
That's what this does.
Oh my god, it's perfect. Presentation and build-up. I'll say
Like
it
out in
once more.
space and there's
Dead Space also has a
creatures
few
attacking
boss fights,
people.
and they do not disappoint. Well, maybe a little bit, but we'll get to that. While the Brute, the
Are there
Hunter, and
grenades
even
in
the
this
Dividers lean more to the mini-boss
Kinda
side,
like throw a
I
grenade or
consider the
explosive
Hunter
device.
a full-fledged boss because of how much effort it takes to bring it down. In Chapter 6, after clearing out hydroponics and fixing the air quality,
cut their
we go
limbs
into
off.
this big chamber, this
Check what's down
foreboding
here.
hallway, with all this crap on the sides, and then holy shit, that thing is huge and disgusting. This fight is pretty
That's a
intense.
lot,
You
too.
can never
Oh!
stop moving.
Which way do I
You gotta
go?
use Zero-G to avoid the tentacles and Kinesis to catch the pods. It takes a long time to kill the Leviathan, and after a while it does get kind of boring. The novelty wears off, but maybe that's just because I was sucking fat tentacles. In Chapter 8, we gotta sweep this giant slug thing off the side of the ship's hull. And it's not a traditional fight. You use the canvas
That's
to
not a
take
door.
it down. It's a fun little gimmick. Finally, we got the Hive Mind, the big motherfucker, and this is just a pure spectacle of a battle. We've been attacked by the tentacles plenty of times throughout the game. Build up, You get it? Anyways, it's all about shooting the glowy spots until the next phase begins. You know the drill. It's intense as fuck. I remember the first time I was playing Dead Space, it took me like 15 tries to get its patterns down and tame the beast. Realistically, though, the hive mind is just a tad disappointing because of how easily it would just absolutely destroy Isaac. Like, realistically, everything else in the game, I can actually see Isaac killing and overcoming, but not the hive mind, dude.
There's 1,000
He would
people
get
on board.
shredded.
Someone will be there.
All these fights are about dodging, diving,
Everything's
dipping,
locked down because of the
ducking, and
quarantine.
dodging.
And you're both prepared.
Positioning is
So
also
how
a
would
key
you-
factor in your success. If enemies run away from you or escape, chances are they're making moves to flank you, so watch your back.
There's a broken
You
tram
need to
car
get
blocking
familiar
the
with your
tunnel.
surroundings
Pretty
so you
long
can have a
system.
backup plan if shit
And
goes
the data
haywire
board's burned
and
out.
get gangbanged.
I can't let the lockdown
This is
on the
especially
tram
true
until
in
it gets
zero-G
fixed.
areas, as Isaac can hop
But it's
around
all
the
in
ship
Isaac's
and
head
enemies
at
will
this
follow.
Oh, hell yeah.
Zero-G areas are ginormous,
Because there's
and
power
often hold a lot of really good items,
And
and
I
you can use the jump mechanic to
I'm
cleverly
sure Nicole's
outmaneuver
okay.
the
She's a
necromorphs.
doctor, right?
I had far too much fun in the zero-G areas of the game, even if the mechanic itself is a bit janky. So a player needs to be smart about positioning, weapon choice, knowing how many items you have, what you can use in any given situation, and knowing what the enemies do, their behaviors and weaknesses. Understanding all of these things is how you can master the game. And boy oh boy, is Dead Space a fun game to master. I mean, the satisfaction you get from mowing them
Well, there's-
necromorphs down with the Ripper, or placing accurate shots with the plasma cutter, filling them full of lead with the pulse rifle, it all feels so good.
Oh,
Naturally, because mining rocks out in space can be tedious and tiring work, the Ishimura and USM Valor have mini-games where crew members can work on their aim or play basketball, futuristic basketball. You get some nice rewards for doing these mini-games too, and they're a lot of fun. I always appreciate when a game can throw in some little gimmicks like this for some fun on the side. But besides the pure combat I was talking about earlier, the decisions you make before battle are just as important. The store is gonna be your best buddy throughout Dead Space, and every time you see one, you can breathe easy, friend. By picking up schematics throughout the game, you'll unlock the ability to buy ammo for all the guns, new weapons, health packs, everything. And best of all, new suits of armor. Oh, hell yeah, I love watching this animation. Isaac just looks so fucking badass. Better suits give you more damage resistance and increase your inventory slots, so they are essential. It's especially important to decide what to use power nodes on and what to
This is true.
upgrade. You'll find these guys on tough enemies or secret spots, these blue panels on the wall, and you can buy them for 10,000 credits
Trying to
each at
follow
the
them up
store.
there, wasn't
They ain't cheap, kids. But if you want to stand any chance against the necromorph invasion, you'll need to upgrade your shit. The problem is, with only 4 weapon slots and a very limited amount of power nodes, you basically have to pick 4 weapons and stick with them. Otherwise, you're going to be losing money. Mostly, you want to prioritize damage on your guns and get ammo capacity when you're low, because it gives you a free refill. But of course, you'll want to increase your health and air capacity so you don't stress as much. And putting some nodes into your stasis will work wonders and give you more opportunities to bail out of a tough spot. There's so many different paths to choose with all these weapons and gear, and how the upgrade system works is one of the best parts of Dead Space because you feel like you're really getting stronger. And there's not enough money and power nodes to upgrade absolutely everything, so there's an element of replayability if you want to play through with
Okay,
different
okay.
weapons. Nice thing is, after beating the game, you unlock
Alright.
New Game Plus, some cool gear, and an extra
This is-
difficulty setting. The gameplay in this video has been on hard. I've beaten the game on impossible, and let me tell you, that is some serious shit right there. I am proud of that. So replayability is pretty high, considering this is my 5th or 6th time completing the game, and I'm still having fun. So overall, the gameplay of Dead Space is precisely tuned to perfection, in my opinion. They don't throw too many enemies at you that you get bored immediately,
I don't like
and
that
are no
note.
longer scared of the necromorphs. They throw just the right amount of
Something's
stuff at
gonna
the
be here.
player. The trick to an effective, compelling, and frightening horror experience is that the entire game needs to be played with concept and intention. When I say the entire game, I mean the entire game. Music, lighting, sound effects, visual aesthetic, gameplay, design, all of them. The goal is not so much in creating horrific, disgusting enemies that gross the player out, but it's more so the
Yeah,
way
I'm
these
like, I
enemies
don't
are
trust that
presented
thing
and
right there.
revealed. It's not so much what's in the dark that scares you, it's the fear of not knowing. You know, take the Alien movies for example. The first film, the action parts are so impactful and memorable because there's been so much build-up, and they're separated by these huge stretches of quiet
Do that one
moments.
first.
So when the alien finally appears, you're on the edge of your seat. You take that loop, implement it in a game, have it happen every few minutes or longer, and you've got a good horror experience. Dead Space teaches you very quickly that the necromorphs can come out from just about anywhere. They can hop out of vents, fly down in zero gravity, pop out around corners, sprint towards you out of the blue, break glass, or anything. The game instills feelings of paranoia throughout. This, in turn, makes the player very cautious during the quiet moments because you never know when something that's going to just
You're about to shoot those fuckers in the head.
exploring
Then they just
bathrooms to
slow down.
wide open areas, zero-G environments, even the basketball courts, man. No area is completely safe because, again,
Does that
you
even kill
don't know
Or
what's
do they
out
just
there.
stop moving?
And the game will constantly throw curveballs.
It makes them slower. There's something behind me, isn't there?
Shopping or why wouldn't you? What the fuck? Piece of shit. You're trying to pull it creepy shit. Dead Space has this extreme contrast. When an enemy appears, the game gets loud as fuck.
Yeah, explosive.
But when there's nothing going on, you can hear a pin drop. And for some people, this might be seen as overemphasizing the horror or relying too much on jump scares. But I think it's a nice contrast. You've got the two extremes, quiet and just loud as hell. Other parts of the Ishimura have huge industrial sounds going on, which can obscure the noises the necromorphs make. As a player, you start to rely on these audio cues and sound effects, so when there's other stuff going on, it
That
really
lighting's pretty
amplifies the atmosphere. It makes you even more scared.
That's
The biggest
explosive, isn't it?
mistake I see in sequels like Resident Evil 5, Bioshock 2, Bioshock Infinite, and even Dead Space 2 and 3 is for some reason the game started to phase out the horror
go that
elements
way.
in favor of more action.
There could be
It's like
supplies
they
over here.
thought the way to make the sequel better than the original is to just throw more enemies at you. And that doesn't really improve the game or make it any scarier.
Or
In fact, it makes it less
ammunition.
scary because we see these enemies all the
Credits,
time.
what that's for.
I mean, there's
Could be
parts of
for
Bioshock 2
upgrading.
where you set up a defense and you fight off like 25
Take that too.
splicers, as opposed to, you know, that part in the first game where you pick up a shotgun and you fight off like 6. If you have too much footage removed, the thing that's supposed to be scary, it's not really scary. The key word here is build-up. When it comes to video games, I think build-up is highly underrated. Sometimes you can go 2, 3, 4, 5 whole minutes without any combat. Fear is
I hear something.
long pauses
Oh,
like this go
frick.
far in making the combat more memorable than this. In a
Ah.
horror game, I'd rather fight 4 enemies after 3 minutes of build-up than 15 after 1 minute of build-up. Think about how memorable that journey to Rapture was. The dialogue at the beginning that ignited a
I like these
mystery,
little explosive
the
things
plane
around.
crashing, walking down the
Pick that
White
too.
House, getting into the bathysphere, listening to Andrew Ryan's speech, and getting that big reveal. Remember how impactful it was the way Bioshock slowly unraveled the insanity, terror, and horrific atrocities that occurred in
matter?
Rapture? Yeah, you know, it takes time to get good shit going, is my point. Dead Space and Bioshock utilize build-up in a similar fashion, but for
No
different
power.
things. Bioshock used it to give the story a greater impact, and Dead Space uses it to give the gameplay a greater impact. While I think it's cheesy in Dead Space that within the first 5 minutes the enemy is revealed to you, it's really after that point where the game starts getting good. See, it's not about throwing these monstrous creatures at the player at every turn. There's a certain amount of build-up to the
That's all
actual
it is.
combat. It's about mind games, and we're being played by the developers. One of the best examples is when you
shoot.
get on a tram and the fog obscures your view. You're moving in super slow, but as you get closer to the other side, the horrors that lurk within are revealed. And you've got to, and you're set into a panic. For example, there are areas where you enter a vacuum and you have a limited amount of time to breathe. While in many scenarios, the air you have is enough. The fact that you are put on a time limit creates pressure. And hearing Isaac's breathing get more and more sporadic raises the tension.
That way?
Whenever you enter a new
Oh.
area, most of the time you get a chance to
Can I
take in the surroundings,
cover?
find items, look at potential hazards or
To that
gimmicks,
place?
before you cross an invisible line where the enemies spawn. Even after playing this game for the fifth time, there's never been a moment in my playthrough
I
where
heard
was
something.
constantly on edge as I walked around all the rooms in outer space. You can tell
What
how
the
stressful,
frick
in a good way,
is happening?
Dead Space is with how relieved you feel when you arrive at the tram station or find a save station or a store. Other times an area might appear one way, but then you push a button and the whole place transforms. And you're like, fuck, now there's aliens, oh shit, oh god, what do I do? Before you die because the change in scenery and landscape mess with your mind and any preconceptions of strategy you might have had. The game does have quick time events, but they're more like the grapples from Resident Evil 4, so they aren't all that shitty. When an enemy gets a hold of you, you just mash A and there you go. Gameplay-wise, they do slow things down, but it opens the door for the incredibly awesome and gruesome executions. They really went all out with some of these scenes, and it's just like, god damn, are some of them brutal. That extra layer of effort really pays dividends, because once you see a tiny alien rip off Isaac's head and take control of him, you're like, well fuck, I don't want to see that again. Which makes you fear the enemies even more. It's a very gore game. The gore is used as a means of conveying the desperation and horror of the situation. It serves as a way to show off the horrifying capabilities of the necromorphs. It's all part of the overall storytelling behind it. But because Dead Space is a survival horror game, that means you've got an inventory to keep track of and countless important decisions along the way about what to keep. The fear of being unprepared for what lies ahead plays a big role in the non-combat parts of Dead Space. Again, build-up. Running out of ammo is scary, but so is not picking up those superconductors to sell them and buy more ammo. Having no stasis to bail you out of a tough spot is a frightening thought, but so is not carrying enough health packs to deal with that giant brute. The ultimate goal of Dead Space is to survive. And so you often find yourself scrounging for ammo, health, and everything. When your inventory is full, there's an extra level of management to it. It's like, I'll use this health pack even though I'm not that damaged, so I can pick up this ammo. Or, there was a lot of items I couldn't pick up in that one room. So I'm gonna backtrack and get them now, and my inventory cleared up after that huge battle. Dead Space simply makes survival fun. Whether you're shooting at asteroids, heading for the pole, or you're trying to outmaneuver a regenerating necromorph, the game is built around the concept of fear and tension. And no matter where you look, you know the signs in every corner of the game. Small moments such as walking down this corridor and hearing a banging noise as you slowly approach, expecting something to pop out, only for it to be some guy slamming his head against the wall before he collapses on the ground and dies. These moments build up tension even when there are no enemies. It's all about toying with the player's mind, making them think there's something there when there's really not, which is the perfect segue to telling you into the story.
How about them prices? The lowest in Texas.
What?
Most of all, how about them cowboys? Specs, the fun starts here.
Can I just save? Ugh.
The narrative of Dead Space is pretty interesting, if a bit generic. The story takes place in 2508. The Earth has hit a wall. The planet no longer has enough resources to sustain the population, so the Concordance Extraction Corporation, aka CEC, created the Planet Crackers to gather resources from other worlds. The Ishimura
Oh,
being
so
the
that's the
flagship
stasis,
Planet
that little
Cracker and
tiny
the iconic
half
symbol
circle
of
looking thing.
mankind's will to survive.
So that's
On
Ishimura.
the right.
Impressive.
The USG Ishimura, biggest planet cracker in her class. It looks like they already popped the cork.
As it was mining the planet Aegis 7,
The
some
middle
shit
one
happened and
that
that's
goes
where
along the
Isaac and
spine
friends hop in to
is
check it out.
health.
That's the backstory. Now the objectives for each mission revolve around Isaac repairing various parts of the Ishimura, such as getting the tram station online so they can move around the ship, or fixing the communications to send out an SOS, re-establishing the asteroid defense systems, you get the idea. Hammond for the first 9 chapters takes control and is intent on completing the job, so you mostly take orders from him. Basically, the Earth government quarantined Aegis 7 and made it off-limits to everyone. For 200 years, this barren wasteland sat there before the Church of Unitology disregarded the quarantine and infiltrated the Ishimura before heading to Aegis 7 to recover their holy relic, the Marker. And behold its glory. It is truly magnificent. The Church of Unitology is your typical group of religious fanatics who have to fucking ruin everything because they're dumb and stupid.
Accept your part in the God's plan. Embrace your own extinction.
Essentially, their goals are the necromorph transformation will cure all of humanity's problems. Ah, praise be. This is mankind's next step on the path of evolution. We've all seen this type of villainous organization before. They uncovered the red marker on the surface of Aegis 7 and brought it aboard the ship. Soon afterwards, everything went straight to hell. The members started hallucinating, symptoms of schizophrenia were running rampant, paranoia, bloodlust, murder, torture, all started to tear apart the crew of the Ishimura. But just like retards, they think this is all meant to be, and their religious indoctrination further drives the ship into madness. With the medical staff being unable to diagnose the cause of all this shit, most of the crew turned into homicidal, suicidal maniacs. So much of the story is uncovered in data logs, video recordings, writing on the wall, and through the level design. I appreciate the indirect approach of storytelling they took with Dead Space. As you fight your way through the Ishimura, Isaac's girlfriend Nicole consistently appears to help you out. God damn, Isaac is gonna snuggle her good when all is said and done. Throughout the game, this fucking asshole Chalice Mercer tries to send his goons at her. He kills people and tries to usher in this new age of necromorph humans, which for some reason he thinks is the right thing to do. Anyway, the cast of characters are all serviceable. They feel real, dialogue is great, I have no complaints really. And the villains work for the most part. There's a lot of creepy dialogue, and Nicole is the creep lord in this respect. Her vague and constant requests to
make us whole again.
It just fills you with the Ghibli. What happened aboard the Ishimura is shown to the player, more so than it is told to you. There's a big focus on environmental storytelling, and just by exploring the place, you kind of piece together what happened. So near the end, Isaac and Dr. Kyne team up to put the marker back where it belongs, and seal the nightmare off once and for all. But Kendra Daniels has other plans.
There's no time to waste. We must do it.
Oh shit, you just shot that guy. Man, aren't you a bitch? And then she reveals that this marker was made by the government, reverse engineered from the original marker and put on Aegis 7 so the government could study its effects. Apparently the helix shape of the marker and the codes written on it is the DNA code for the necromorph infection, which is really freaking cool. And this makes all those symbols and things you see throughout the game on the walls much more interesting, as now there is an explained reason for all these symbols. And Kendra is here to take it to her superiors. But Isaac ain't about to let that happen because Nicole is here to help us get through this shit. Let's go, baby. Finish the fight. We're gonna finish this together. Make us whole.
supposed to be doing something?
So we head down to the colony, fight through a bunch of necromorphs before we finally bring the marker back to its resting place. It's over.
Thank you, Isaac. I always believed in you. I knew you'd return to me. We are whole again, Isaac.
What is the
We are whole.
objective?
It's all over.
Oh
But
yeah,
no, of course
replace
it is.
damaged
Kendra
trans.
shows up, locks us out, and is taking it back to the ship before revealing the truth we all pretty much knew. Nicole is dead. Isaac has an emotional moment, and so does he. It's pretty cool that if you line up the first letter of each chapter, it spells this out for you. We head back to the ship, and oh god, what's happening? What, oh god, it's the tentacles. We saw them all over the Ishimura. What's happening? What, holy Jeebus. The Hive Mind, the Grave Mind 2.0, whatever you want to call it. This is one of the most epic showdowns in video game history. The Hive Mind is an absolute beast. Just look at this thing, and you're able to subdue it before the giant asteroid smashes into Aegis 7. But Isaac still needs to escape, so he runs to the ship, powers it up, and gets the fuck out of there. I'm getting some serious combat on all fire.
No. I hear something. Holy crap! No. No, it's a dead gum ambush.
You can rest easy. Breath of relief, man.
Wait, I hear something.
Wait, who is it? And that's the story of Dead Space. Great fucking ending with that Nicole jump scare, and perfectly sets up the plot in Dead Space 2. It's a thrilling ride from start to finish, and there's never really a dull moment or parts with excessive dialogue or characters making stupid decisions. None of those typical horror genre impulses. Dead Space at its core is about conquering fear. The fear of losing a loved one. Fear of the truth you know deep down. The lesson is to beat the fuck out of the things that scare you. I always wondered what the make us whole again thing was all about until I finally realized that it's the marker's way of trying to communicate with Isaac and the other people on the Ishimura to get itself placed back on the pedestal. Make us whole. The marker has some sentience. It can reach out and touch minds. And so one of the villains in this game is a seemingly inanimate object with motivations we don't quite understand. We have countless questions about it, but we don't have all the answers. And that's the way it should be. You keep some mystery on the table, and it keeps us engaged. While the game takes roughly 8 to 15 hours to complete, it feels just long enough to satisfy me. The Church of Unitology might be a bit generic, but the overall world building and lore of this game are just so intriguing to me. Everything about Dead Space just got me invested in this universe, because the gameplay, setting, presentation, and story were so interesting and interwoven. With all these elements at play, Dead Space really is a once-in-a-lifetime experience for gamers. The combat is nailed to a T with excellent build-up that raises the drama and tension aboard the Ishimura. Boss battles are fantastic. The zero-G environments add some new mechanics and locations to the game. Enemies all have their unique roles, and they're intimidating, scary, and fun to fight. Weapons have their own specializations, and nothing is more fun than going to town on these undead bastards. The universe of Dead Space is interesting. The plot, but builds upon it, audio logs, data logs,
try something.
all that optional material, the dialogue and characters, the plot,
Dadgummit.
the story, sound effects style,
Get off of me!
isolated shows,
Get off of me!
and somehow, 10 years later, the game still looks great.
No, hold back.
Dead Space was able to carve out its own edge for the genre. It's an experience
Are you kidding me?
that once you
No! Fred, damn it! You gotta be kidding me! Oh. I got stuck on that one. And I don't know how to heal myself either. How do you heal yourself? Is the way you heal yourself, you can only do that and just press on it? There's a health pack right there. Small health pack. Dude. All of a sudden that third one started coming in. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Oh, that sucked. That was terrible. I couldn't get past that one that was on the ground. I'm like, are you kidding me? That was a crazy ambush. Oh, that restores stasis energy. Well... okay. My gosh.
Is a lot like a hot girl who isn't crazy. A good horror remake is a lot like a hot girl who isn't crazy. They're basically getting more What? My dating life is improving and EA is releasing single-player games? These truly are the end times. The original Dead Space is an all-time classic. I reviewed it back in 2018. Go watch that video after this one. And also have a playthrough series of Dead Space Remake on my second channel, so check that out if you're interested. Dead Space perfected third-person horror, a genre made extremely popular by a little-known obscure gem barely anybody played.
Don't you think?
It took all the best parts of first combat and threw it into space, which
Best
is
in
why I love
engineering.
it. The game is a prime example of how to create atmosphere in a video game.
We got a red fry. I got a damaged tram car on the track. The whole system's pretty much guess who you're calling. Devil here.
Lost in space somewhere. Nobody believed this more than EA, as they canceled the sequel Dead Space 4 and the third installment needed to sell 5 million copies of the franchise would continue.
no one can beat.
It did not sell 5 million copies. EA then shut down the developers of Dead Space, Visceral Studios, because they didn't see a future for single-player games. And 6 years later, I think this prediction
This is gonna be my first real fight right here.
So dinner than shit, about as likely as Nicole still being alive. We all accepted this fact and moved on. So imagine my shock when I saw this. And yet, some big questions remain. What, if anything, did they screw up?
Reload.
Revive the franchise. Is the Dead Space remake being called? Well, let's cut off some limbs, make us whole again, and return the marker straight into this.
Let me figure out how to use my stasis again. And oh, it's gonna be triangle, I believe. Aim triangle. I forget that.
Dead Space is my ideal kind of remake. One that doesn't pretend the original was perfect and didn't have flaws. A remake that keeps all the best parts and words and creates experiences that even seasoned fans will be surprised by. I was thrilled to see this wasn't just a shot-for-shot remake of something I'd beaten 6 times already. All the iconic areas you remember kept mostly the same. The places that weren't utilized as much or were more mysterious have been greatly expanded on. So rather than rehash all the points I made in my 2018 review, I figured we should focus on the major differences between the two versions to see what happened. Well, the game starts off just like the original, consistent with exact
I don't like how skinny these freaking hallways are. I hate it.
Some liberties were taken to alter dialogue, character motivations, and cutscenes, so they feel more natural than the other changes. We'll talk about these changes later on. You play as Isaac Clarke, an engineer turned manager. Next to the issue were cutscenes of
You got it.
Imagine listening to your girlfriend, am I right?
I don't like how skinny it
It's
is.
meant to be a routine checkup, but
These hallways are really skinny.
the Killian crash lands in the issue
We can't really train without it.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Boy, you always got
Holy
a bad feeling
crap.
about something.
Oh. It's in the walls! It's in the walls! Unfortunately, we missed whatever cultist party happened here. The ship is infested with horrifying monstrosities, the titular necromorphs. After getting ambushed and seeing 2 of his crewmates get eviscerated, Isaac makes a break for it, barely escaping with his life. Let's play Raid Shadow Legends. Start now. At the end of this room, we stumble upon... Oh, reliable! Now, how has the gameplay and mechanics changed? Well, I'm not sure what impresses me more with the remake, the insane upgrades to the visual and sound departments, or the radical improvements to gameplay. You already know the drill. Don't aim for the head scrub. Shoot off the limbs. We're here to make quadriplegics, not friends. And there's a wide variety of weapons to do that with, and an equally diverse array of enemies to dismember. Like the original, you can carry up to 4 at a time. But unlike the original, there's no useless weapons or dumb alternate fire modes that leave you perplexed. You don't have to use 4 weapons. In fact, it's still entirely possible to beat the game with just the plasma cutter, which is the only gun that's remained virtually unchanged, aside from an upgrade that adds knockback to license. Big slap. The good old pulse rifle. I always hate it. It's got the grenade launcher now instead of whatever the hell this move was supposed to be. A massive waste of ammo, that's what. Fuck it, I don't want to aim in this game that's all about precision. Remember that weird trap the line gun had that never did anything because it took 5 whole fucking seconds to explode? That's gone. Replaced with these badass laser traps. You could stick them onto objects and even pick them up to create a mobile death zone of destruction. The flamethrower was god-awful before, but with the new flesh-peeling mechanics, it serves as a great support weapon to inflict damage over time and then use your other main weapons. It even comes packaged with a new flame wall ability, which will stop most necromorphs, but of course not the Brood. Let's give him one of these. That did not stop him. That did not stop him. Oh, and the contact beam? Oh, the primary fire is the laser beam that obliterates anything in its way. Exodia would be proud. The alt fire is a charge blast, which is so strong it can apparently one-shot a Brood on hard mode. Oh yeah? Yeah, you didn't like that? That's just one-shot it. I wasted a second shot on this guy. My favorite has and always will be... Oh boy. Oh boy. The Ripper. Extremely ammo efficient, and it's so fun to slice and dice your enemies. The new alt-fire is kind of underrated, but it launches blades that ricochet all over the place. The Force Gun it's nasty. This thing peels the flesh off the necromorphs, exposing their skeletons and bones. It flays them. And the Gravity Well alt-fire is just a beauty to behold. Though there's only 7 weapons, the sandbox feels larger than it is, largely because of these new useful alt-fires. But what makes the weapons in combat so much better than the original are the changes to how you upgrade. No longer are you forced to waste nodes on blank spaces to get to the next real upgrade. Thank God. In the old system, you didn't have much room to focus on more than 2 weapons and your suit. Motive also introduced a ton of schematic upgrades you can find and purchase, like a burning effect for the plasma cutter, more damage on the Gravity Well, additional ricochets for the Ripper. Unlocking these are huge milestones for upgrading weapons, and it's the paths that you take. Schematics also come with a bonus power node, so you unlock things at a much more reasonable pace than you did before. You sound like a sadist for saying this, but the new flesh-peeling mechanic really highlights how satisfying the combat is. In the original, necromorph models wouldn't change until
What the?
You're shooting through skin, muscle, bone, and tendons. Even after losing most of their limbs, the necromorphs will still kill slowly and desperately try to murder you. Oh,
I've never seen that before.
He's limping with murderous intent. So seeing how the necromorphs are affected by all this damage is really important. So you feel like that zombie child is really burning when you put it to the torch. Burn the children! God damn it! Isaac is a bit more nimble this time around. His melee attacks were very sluggish and borderline unusable in combat, and they've been retooled to be more effective.
Wherever you are on your artistic journey, the best way to start is with Prismacolor.
Now, I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little spooked after playing so much Dead Space. And aren't you tired of missing yourself from playing it too? You need a more chill, laid-back game to enjoy? Well, too bad, soldier. You've been recruited to play War Thunder, the sponsor of today's video. War Thunder is one of the most in-depth vehicle combat games you will ever play. There are over 2,000 different vehicles to choose from, including helicopters, ships, tanks, planes, and more. Every vehicle is meticulously meticulously detailed and modeled to be as accurate as possible. Unlike COD Vanguard, War Thunder cares about realism. The catalog of vehicles spans over 100 years, from present day all the way back to the 1920s. And there's robust customization to boot. You can enjoy tons of different gameplay scenarios in PvP, mount up in your tank and battle across the plains, or take the fight to the skies. And you can play for free on PC, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and last-gen consoles. And if you download War Thunder today using my special link in the description and in the comment, you'll get a ton of extra bonuses, including XP boosts, premium currency, and various other goodies. So what are you waiting for, soldier? Download and play War Thunder today and earn your stripes on the battlefield. Thank you, War Thunder, for sponsoring this video. Link in the description.
Now for something completely different.
So every change made to the weapons and sandbox was a good one. How about the enemies? No. Get the chicken wings out of here. God damn the chicken wings. For the most part, all the baddies are the same. Regrettably, the pregnants no longer do that Humpty Dumpty run towards the player. Big sad. However, it's with the changes to enemies and difficulties that the remake starts to make some mistakes. In the 2008 version, Necromorphs felt a lot more threatening. They'd often do this manic sprint towards the player, swinging their limbs wildly. It gave off the impression that, okay, this is an organism with one single thought in its body: kill. It wants to murder me until I'm dead. But in the remake, they rarely do this charge, and I can't recall a single time I ever saw it, if ever. It just seemed smarter in the original. And while these are small gripes in the grand scheme of things, the Necromorphs feel less like the galactic threat they used to be, and more like your run-of-the-mill zombies. The other complaint I have is with difficulty. Impossible used to be hard, but harder. And now Impossible is hard, but you only have one life and one save. I miss having an ultimate challenge that didn't revolve around you fuck up once, restart the game, asshole. It's a real nice detail that slashers you encounter throughout the Ishimura have been altered to wear outfits that resemble which part of the ship you're in. I also like how they have all the different costumes, you know? Like these ones are in the mining uniforms. It adds realism to the game as you can imagine what these people were doing before they switched teams. The game is still hectic and fun as hell. Side note, I like that the goose-spitting necromorphs you saw like once or twice in the original are a lot more common now. And remember how the brutes would do this dumb, like, turtle move? Basically like, oh, okay, I'm tired, go ahead and shoot me, I guess. That's gone. Brute fights are a lot better because of it. The only changes to boss battles is with the Leviathan. Now that Isaac can Iron Man his way through zero-G areas instead of floating like a brick, the fight plays out much differently, forcing you to fly around the tentacles instead of awkwardly floating away from them. And for the rematch, the developers looked at this turret section and said, well, that kind of sucks. Screw it, go fight him out in space instead. So you know, it's an awesome battle. And my personal favorite enemy, the Divider. I know the question, did they keep the same power? It's so iconic and spooky. It's like the sound my tummy makes when I'm hungry. You remember all those violent death animations? Oh yeah, they return, and they look just as fantastic.
You want me to call you Arthur or the Joker?
Oh my gosh.
Which one of you is here? Who am I speaking to now? So you don't think this is me? Look at all these people!
I'm gonna skip this one.
Joker, 4 de octubre, clasificada R.
Yes, they did. So the combat and enemies are awesome. But what about the atmosphere? The horror? Did they keep that intact? You really think you're gonna fool me with that? You really think? Not too smart. Aha! Sadly, I was completely unfazed from start to finish. This game didn't scare me once. Fuck, why is there a vent right there? Stop playing the music, please, so I can relax. Ah! What the fuck? Suck my cock! Alright, the game is still spooky as hell, and they rely on their old tricks while coming up with some new ones. Whoa! What? You fucking asshole. It just shows up, it just knocks the fucking vent down, and then just dips. He's stalking me. They're playing mind games, man. While overall slower, the Necromorphs have leveled up their sneak quite a bit. They don't often scream bloody murder right before an ambush unless you're fighting a bunch of them. Instead, there's a lot of encounters where they opt to distract you with one in front while another stalks you from behind. You will be caught off guard, even if you're as familiar with the game as I am. And this is where the music
Yeah, I was
and
caught
orchestra
off
come
guard.
into effect. Yeah, this entire aesthetic is just so fucking awesome. Oh god. Fuck, I'm not sure what it's called, like what the term for it is, but you know, when you turn a corner and then those music stings, man. It's like a music sting that plays when Necromorphs come into view or burst through a vent. It almost mimics a slasher film, like you're the director of your own playthrough. Sound is really important in horror games, and while Dead Space has its fair share of jump scares, they're creative and feel earned. Good one, Dead Space developers, good one. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, fucking, they had him come out of the fucking toilet. God damn it. The developers also made sure that while shopping, you get attacked at least once, which is a massive fuck you to the player because now I never feel safe. It goes a long way that they kept certain sound effects for things like picking up items and opening lockers. It tickles my nostalgia bone. And since we're talking about sound, let's discuss Isaac and his role in the gameplay. Now, making silent protagonists for your video games is successful examples in the past. It's a great way to make players feel more immersed and characters shooting and by extension. But it's interesting that most studios chose the opposite with Isaac, but it would have been easier to keep him mute. But even if I was let's just put however, they took this opportunity to not only remake his character, but his role in the gameplay and story. His reactions and breathing and heartbeat have a huge impact on how the player feels. The devs call it the Alive system.
We want Isaac to reflect how anyone would physically react in the scenario he's placed in, and vice versa. Use that to influence the response.
And it helps determine how tense the situation is meant to feel. For example, Isaac's breathing gets faster the longer he sprints, or he shouts in pain as his breathing gets labored as he runs out of oxygen or is at low health. There's a lot of subtle improvements you likely won't notice unless you watch the Vidocs they made, which I highly recommend. Now, there's a current trend in third-person games where the protagonist is a chatterbox that you never actually see It is so refreshing to see how they handled Isaac. He does comment on specific gameplay scenarios that occur, but it's uncommon, like if you stomp enemies too much.
Fuck you! Son of a bitch!
Or
I hear
Isaac
something
will
else.
curse when he runs out of ammo. Motive Studios,
Oh.
Isaac is just not
Whoa, dude.
The player maintains full control of Isaac, and you'll have 3
Calm down.
each line to pick from, based on his current state: a normal version, a fatigued version, and an injured version.
So basically, they had Gunnar Wright record the lines to the entire script of the game 3 times. 1 fatigued, 1 normal, 1 injured. And this is something many players likely won't ever pick up on. The improvements here make Dead Space an adrenaline-filled nightmare, and I love every second of it. When I first booted up the remake, I thought, you know, this doesn't look that much better than the original. Not only did I feel like a fucking idiot when I looked at gameplay from the original, but it also served to remind me Dead Space in 2008 looked good. So how could they improve upon it? Don't tell me they screwed up the art style. Nay. Feast your eyes on this. The game is gorgeous, hands down. And I feel like it's so easy for a studio to misunderstand the thing they're remaking and trample over the original art style, replacing it with visuals and an atmosphere that betrays
Isaac,
the tone.
we can't
But
stay
this
here
could
much
not be
longer.
further
There's a
from
lot
the
of
truth in the
movement.
case of Dead Space. Not only is the fidelity and detail cranked up to 11,
Daniel,
but
get
the
ready to go.
identity and style of the Ishimura is kept intact. In fact, it's much better. You see Bioshock-type advertisements throughout. And Pain! Dude, they got ads for Pain now. Okay. There's always Pain. Don't forget that. Some parts of Dead Space felt like they used fog and darkness to obscure places that weren't as detailed or pretty, like the gondola ride early on. The remake keeps the same visual style, set pieces, and aesthetics while making it look better. I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to find a single pixel in this game that feels out of place. It's insane the amount of effort they put into this facet of the game. The presence of gravity, for example, changes how particles and effects behave in the world. Smoke interacts with all objects, including player and controllers. This is the type of game you play and think to yourself, holy shit, they should make a movie of this. But how else has the Ishimura been transformed in the remake? What about the level design? Well, this is where we run into our first major unforgivable problem. There are all-gender restrooms on this ship. You know, fellas, the only thing scarier than the necromorphs is the woke agenda in this video game. All-gender restroom. Oh, dude, there are people that were upset about that. People that were like, oh, Dead Space is woke now because of this. Bro, they probably have like 18 different genders in the future. Dead Space has a lot of iconic set pieces like the comms array, the exterior of the ship, a firing range, and they all look gorgeous. The hangar bay in the original is essentially one long path and nothing else. But now, holy shit, you can fly around in here? Oh my god, this is exactly what I wanted to see going into this remake. New areas that expand on what's already there. This infested area with the gondola right before you meet up with Nicole, it turns into a zero-G environment that you can fly through and explore. Now let's talk about the tram system. What used to be a loading screen between each mission is now an integral part of traversing the Ishimura. Once you unlock the tram in one area, you can go there whenever you want. Loading screens don't exist. Hell, when you boot up the game and hit continue, it just zooms out from where you last saved. Man, what did we just do? Oh shit. Oh wow. That was fast. Remember always having to keep one power node on hand in case you found a security door? No longer. Instead, you unlock levels of clearance throughout the game. Remember this janky, unreadable 3D map screen? Yeah, I never used it either. But the new map is much more readable, which makes backtracking and finding those security areas far less cumbersome. Like the original, Dead Space Remake has an intensity director, and if you're familiar with Left 4 Dead, you know what I'm talking about. It creates random events that change the mood of the ship, add certain enemies. So when you are backtracking, you're not just walking through the park.
I thought I found one.
Ah! And I love this new approach of adding non-linearity to Dead Space. There's a lot of great secrets too, like if you can stomp and swing at the ground in a certain order in this room. They also added a couple side quests. One of them fleshes out Isaac and Nicole's relationship more, showing her activities on the Ishimura before this all happened. Another side quest has you tracking down crewmates and learning more about them and what happened on the ship. And the last side quest focuses on the backstory of its creation. It's like to the story, they expanded on elements that the original should have. Certain sections have been revamped to be more interesting, like the engine room on the Valor. It still has a puzzle with pillars of flame to avoid, but it's different. A lot less janky. Similarly, the shooting range is still a shooting range, but your targets are a little different. Yep, you got me again, Motive Studios. Well done. What an elaborate set piece to create just to fake the player into thinking it's going to be like a basketball minigame. A lot of old areas have seen the addition of these power switches, which do things like turn on lights, activate elevators, give life support, and most sections force you to choose one of these, which adds some player choice into areas that didn't have one before. Shooting asteroids in the original game, down asteroids in a more unique way. In fact, a lot of the improvements in this remake are ideas written from Dead Space 2, like the controls in the zero-G environments, Isaac being fully voiced, stomping corpses for items, a lack of loading screens. Dead Space still excels at environmental storytelling, and if you want to get the most out of playing this game, you'll want to stop and smell the corpses. That lady probably brought all these bodies in here and was just like holding out. Oh yeah, look, environmental storytelling. She killed these two, but they got her. Oh shit. Oh shit, dude. That's one of their hands. This is a game you you want to stop and smell the roses, man. Oh, okay, Buster. Buster boy, do not use rigged door. That's fucking funny. Do not use rigged door. There's a dead necromorph, and then, there's another one lurking behind. Now, let's talk about the story and characters. Everyone's a bit different this time, though it's nice to see some of the OG voice actors return. Nicole has gotten a makeover to make her look older. This has been controversial to some, but, she looks more like a senior medical officer and less like some chick fresh out of college. No, they weren't trying to make Nicole ugly or whatever. Shut up. Go away. Now, some folks had a problem with Isaac being fully voiced, and they also didn't like his face for some reason. Personally, I think he's pretty hot. I would probably date him, but I feel like he's got a ton of baggage, and I don't want to deal with that, so a relationship is probably off the table. In Dead Space 2, Isaac regained his voice, and it felt like a natural evolution of his character. His relationship with Nicole was fleshed out some more. Motive Studios clearly built off this premise in the remake, and scenes from Dead Space 2, like the opening phone call, were incorporated into the story. Thing is, if you prefer Isaac as a silent protagonist, you still have the original. And you always will. The big difference between the remake and the original is how dialogue is handled now, right? Before, it was all like, let's get that computer display license. Isaac, get out!
I'm sending the train back to your location. Get the map down. Find that rig as fast as you can.
The air conditioning stopped working. It's 92 degrees in my house. Go fix it. Isaac, go fix my broken marriage. Isaac, my toilet's clogged and overflowing again. Please help. But in the remake, Isaac is his own man. He has needs. And instead of having no say in how he and the crew should handle a situation, he bickers back and forth with Kendra and Hammond.
What about manual targeting?
You want to go out there with all that shit raining down and target the ADS cannons manually?
If I give the cannons enough targeting data, it'll recalibrate the system. You got a better idea?
It makes conversations a lot more interesting and natural. Instead of walking by a pool of blood in the beginning and saying nothing, Isaac makes a comment on it. Now let's discuss the rest of Dead Space's cast a little further, and I'll say it right here. Overall, it's a downgrade. Don't get me wrong, the lore, subplots, and side stories are much better, but the main plot isn't. Isaac and Nicole have a lot more chemistry than before. Chalice Mercer is a more involved villain. No. Elizabeth Cross is a great addition, but Terrence Kyne, Hammond, and Kendra are all far less compelling and interesting. I'm not sure if it's the writing, voice acting, direction, or a combination of all three, but something's wrong. Terrence Kyne is meant to be this unhinged doctor/cultist who comes across as insane, but genuinely has good intentions and wants to help Isaac. It's just clear to us that he's been fucked up by the marker, so Kyne was complex. In the remake, he's very one-note and stale. I mean, just compare the voice acting.
The church, they think the market is divine, but they don't know what's happened here, what's been released. Look.
The hell is that?
Mercer calls up the hive mind. Nexus organs.
Maintenance complete. Carbon trap.
That is what we found. In the core of the planet. Mercer calls it the hive mind. It's the source, controlling the necromorphs down there.
She told me they would return the beast to its lord.
She could be stopped by returning the marker to
Wait, really?
The marker was containing it within the group. Return the marker and seal the hive mind.
So you can get to the
Yeah, Kyne is a downgrade. Also, I felt the dynamic between Hammond and Kendra was much more interesting and real to the original. It felt like they were taking shit seriously and getting pissed off and frustrated with each other, which made sense given the circumstances. But now it feels like they're both clueless, lethargic.
Isn't that way to do it here? Corporate wouldn't send the Ishimura for some off-the-books mining. But alien technology, yeah, that bits.
That was losing my team fit into this theory. Hey, now this shit off.
When were you going to tell us about the artifact, Hammond? This marker.
I don't know anything about that. It's referenced in the captain's records. They brought it up from the planet.
It's on the ship?
In cargo. They think it's of alien origin, but I don't know what the hell it is.
Really? CEC didn't know anything about it. You're lying.
Back up! I am not the bad guy here. We're all shaky right now. You're gonna have to trust that I don't know anything about it.
But the real tragedy is with Hammond. Fun fact, the guy who played Hammond is the same dude in 300 who got Sparta kicked and said, "This is blasphemy. This is madness." It's the same guy, just thought I'd blow your mind real quick. Kendra's supposed to be the sly secret agent who turns out to be the real villain. And to contrast that, she's meant to play the role of freaked out scaredy cat. Neither of these two seem as frightened by the necromorphs as they should be.
What the fuck are these things?
Once I saw them, some of them were wearing Ishimura uniforms.
How the hell did they be the crew? Look at that.
You had to walk off the wheel. Are you okay?
What? What the hell are those things? Is that the crew?
But what used to be intense fights between Kendra and Hammond now feel like mild disagreements. It betrays the intensity of the setting and how these characters should be acting.
We need to get to the bridge. There's 1,000 people on board. Someone will be there.
We can't. The tram system's wrecked. Everything's locked down because of the quarantine.
You're out of your league, Hammond. This is suicide. We're going to die up here.
Confidence in me Daniels. But I have a mission to complete, and that's exactly what I am going to do, with or without you. You understand each other?
Just get us out of here alive.
And because Hammond so desperately wanted to get himself his crew out alive in the original, it felt more tragic when he died. Then he had to fight the brute that killed him right after. I mean, that was a heartfelt moment. Instead, Hammond is relegated to chasing around a necromorph and then pushing it into the thingy. Now, I don't mind if remakes change the story, but the essence of the character should remain intact. And Hammond being brainwashed by the marker goes against the nature of his character as a resilient survivors epidemic.
Help me get into the challenge.
Forget him, he's gone! That character, Chen, who got killed in prayer in the beginning, yeah, we don't know shit about him, but there's an implied history that has with Chen. But that history has no emotional weight with the audience because we don't experience it.
But I just don't like the character as much.
In the end, he feels far less important to the overall story, and so does his sacrifice. As the changes to the pace that they haven't the same, for everyone, but, like I said, it makes the actual adventures on the guard. And it turns out, actually, that Cross has also been the same used for Jacob Temple, which I think is really interesting that both of these characters had loved ones that died when they projected their likeness onto a real person to give them a motivation. This also explains the physical manifestation of Nicole, which you had to speculate on. Overall, the improvements to the story are appreciated. However, too many memorable characters had their best traits stripped away or made less important. If it weren't for this, I'd say there's almost no reason to play the original, but you can play it for a better story. In conclusion, the Dead Space remake is more than just a faithful adaptation of the original. It's a major improvement in almost every single way. There's only a handful of things you can point to and say, this was done better than the original. The game is a technological marvel, and Motive Studios went the extra mile in crafting its visuals, sound design, and combat. While changes to the difficulty settings and Necromorph AI hold the remake back slightly, there's not much else to complain about, honestly. For me, and all the other horror fans out there, I hope the Dead Space remake goes well. I hope it sends a message to EA and other developers in the industry that this type of game has a place. We deserve games like Dead Space. And it appears EA has sent out some polls gauging people's interest in future remakes. As far as I'm concerned, Dead Space is as good as a remake can get. They kept what was perfect, improved what wasn't, and didn't change what shouldn't have been changed. I can't ask for much more. And that is why the Dead Space remake is a masterpiece. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to the X-Man for more awesome content. Don't forget to check out Worth Use my link in the description and get a massive free bonus pack including vehicles, boosters, and more. And a big shout out to all my awesome patrons. Thank you for your continued support. I will now answer your questions. Will you ever be doing a full Elden Ring review? I wanted to, but I have like 300 gigabytes of footage and I never finished organizing it. Why won't you answer my calls, baby? Forgive me, Johnny Reigns. What is your favorite Ace Attorney game? Trials and Tribulations and Spirit of Justice are equal 10 out of 10s. When are you gonna talk about Gears? It's almost 20 years old, man. Sometime this year. Yo, pretending male individual. How are you so damn good looking? Did you win the genetic lottery? I guess you could say that, but we're all our own worst critics when it comes to appearance. Have you considered doing an Attack on Titan review? I have. I've thought about it more than you know, but it would be such a massive series, I don't know if I could invest all that time and energy into it. Thank you, loyal patrons, for your questions. All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out.
Is that good?
Haley, I need you to listen. Yushamura's overrun with fucking monsters. You didn't hear anything?
What? No, the comms are still out. Isaac.
We need to kill him fix it now. You got a damage report?
It's there.
Hit. Piss off.
What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here, and today I recently beat the Dead Space remake. I feel made whole again, to be quite honest, but I streamed the whole thing on my Twitch account at twitch.tv/theactingmale, the sexiest channel around. You should go follow me there. And I wanted to share my raw experience with the game before my eventual review, give you the best parts, highlights, and moments. I had awaited this game for so long. I am so glad I got to play it. Hope to go through on New Game Plus, maybe do an impossible challenge run. But now that it's finally here, let's jump back into Dead Space. Enjoy the video. On a scale of 1 to 10, how scared would you say Dead Space 1? Like scary movies or TV shows and video games, it's like you get acclimated to horror, right? I saw The Shining when I was in second grade. I said, I watched the movie when I was in I said, not seen that. Space 1 is definitely, I'd say 10 out of 10. Imagine listening to your girlfriend, am I right, fellas?
No. Come on, Leaper.
First game, he didn't talk at all. And that's like, you have that iteration of Dead Space if you want to play the version where he doesn't talk. Like, I think the original version is still going to be, like, playable. Wait, they have a menu narration?
No. I'm not losing two good people for nothing. What about the command computer?
It's a brick. All the primary systems are locked in with the captain's codes.
So we find Captain Matthias. Drop his ring.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here. Captain Benjamin Matthias.
Uh-oh.
Location medical.
Uh-oh.
Status.
You're close to the main. You can double back and cut your main. Find the captain's body and demonstrate with his code. Oh, God! What was that? Ken?
Hammond, run!
Get the most open systems. I'm watching TV, stupid! Shut up! Oh my god. Oh. Oh. It's in the walls!
It's in the walls.
Oh fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Ah! They're coming out of the goddamn walls! No. None of that. None of that. None of that.
Oh, I don't like that.
It's blood splattered all over him and on the wall. That's one of my favorite movie quotes of all time. They're coming out of the goddamn walls. Hell yeah. I need a real plasma cutter. I saw an animated message that John CJ where it says cut off their dicks. Good. I'm sure she's fine. She's a doctor. She knows how to murder aliens. I'm sure nothing has gone wrong. You really think you're gonna fool me with that? You really think?
Is there nothing important in here?
Aha! And the sound effects too. Little things like
Well,
that.
just besides if you
and then
supply
when you get an
some
item that-
credits and whatnot.
Little shit like that I not too smart. Aha! Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Okay, these guys they're a bit harder. They're a bit harder than I remember. Whoa! What? What the fuck it is? I don't want to play this anymore. It just shows up, it just knocks the fucking vent down, and then just dips. He's stalking me. They're playing mind games, man. All gender restroom. Oh, dude, there were people that were upset about that. People that were like, oh, Dead Space is woke now because of this. Bro, they probably have like 18 different genders in the future. Yeah, in games like this, I usually like stopping and seeing all the details because even, you know, like what does this say right here? The bathroom has not been sanitized for error days. Please contact maintenance. They have a warning for it's like, warning, these facilities have not been cleaned. Like, you know, little shit like that. So, yeah, someone left a fat shit in there and everyone was just like, nope, I'm not going in there. And then someone just wrote in a sign like, warning, me after Chinese food. I hope there's some more surprises in store for me, you know? Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh god, how do I do stasis again? I'm so fucked. Fuck! Not today, Buster. Ooh. Oh fuck. Fuck, they move fast. Oh fuck. Fuck, they move fast. Fuck! Oh, there's that. There's everyone's favorite little fella. There he goes. There's definitely gonna be some guys spawning here.
Ooh.
Yep, told you. Oh, he shoots. Did they do that in the original? He shoots mucus now. Are we just all surprised that EA even let them do this? Remember like 6 years ago, one of the fucking, like the COO of EA was like, if we can't make a video game that has a live service, then we're not gonna make it at all. Remember that? And now everyone's like, fuck yes, Dead Space remake. Everybody is loving this. My, how the times change. Do it. Poor feller. Oh. Okay. Oh, but this guy. Aha! I'm too smart for you, Dead Space.
I don't have any power nodes, you freaking
that's
pricks.
good game design. That's good game design. See, the first time they get you, if you're new, They get you with the first one, and then the second one is like, oh, here's a block. And they put a real one right after that. But I'm too smart. I'm too smart for that. You thought Dead Space remake game designers thought. Oh boy, that guy don't got no head. How many shots do you take, my guy? Fuck, that was just unnecessary. Oh god. That's a fella that didn't subscribe to my ah! You gotta be shitting me. This guy is a tank. Spaghetti-O. That is an uh-oh Spaghetti-O moment. And boom goes the dynamite. Fuck this ship. It's a shitty capitalist organization. I mean, that's a pretty good image right there. Welcome aboard.
Reminds me
Smiling
of a-
people, dead corpse right there, and then fuck this ship.
Isn't
Oh,
it like
see
the
the animation?
dragonflies from The Last of Us?
See this? Looking good, fellas.
Chapter 2? What the heck is that?
Hell yeah, now we can throw things at people. Oh, chapter 2. Okay. Interesting. I thought I saw this, that like there's no like loading screens anymore. Really wanted to shoot. Yeah, so that lady probably brought all these bodies in here and was just like holding out. Oh yeah, look, environmental storytelling. She killed these two, but they got her. Oh shit. Oh shit, dude. That's one of their hands. This is a game you want to stop and smell the roses, man. That's one of the hands. That is gnarly. Good one, Dead Space. Good one. You got me there. Good one, Dead Space developers. Good one. When are you going to play the Wii Dead Space? Shut up. There was not a Wii Dead Space, was there? There was?
What the heck?
No! No! Oh, I need to see gameplay for that. Oh my god. Whoa! Oh, hell yeah. This is sick. Well done. Do you guys remember how clunky it was in the original game? Like, the original is still a masterpiece, but man, zero-G areas were clunky as hell. Oh-ho! Nice one, Dead Space developers, I like it. Okay, yep. Where'd he go? Ah! Dude, I swear to God, the thing that I love about the Necrons that makes them so scary is it's the appendages. Because you see these claws coming out from behind you before you actually see like the torso of the thing. That's what it feels like. Just like you get that like quarter-second ability to react. And on hard, it feels like they attack way faster. I can't believe they programmed this many notes to be purchased at once. That's pretty fucking funny.
Look at that
Sometimes
gun.
you gotta flex on the marker by buying 50 power notes at once.
Thanks.
Go fuck yourself. Come on, give me his fucking claw. Okay. Whee! Oh, dude, in the way it peels away their flesh.
primary
like bit by
flare.
bit.
The R1 is a proximity mine. Costs 25
Getting really
rounds.
close. Oh god, I'm out of stasis. I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. Oh god. Run! Oh man. And they're moving. The babies are moving. Christ almighty. Why do people always tell me that I look like the baby? Oh, it's still alive. No, he's coming for me. Oh.
Oh, she got stabbed with
Yep.
something.
Who could have seen that coming? Oh, come on.
Oh, it's a hand.
Able to accept new patients in healthcare in America. Am I right, fellas? Sorry, we are full. Yeah,
With a weird
looks like this guy
bone
died
claw
waiting.
thing sticking out of it.
You got the Pfizer vaccine. That's what happens, man. What happens when you get the vaccine? Did you guys see those videos? Of people like freaking out trying to say the Pfizer vaccine gave them a seizure? Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I don't like you. How did that not kill him? There's another one. Oh god. Can I make the shot?
Lifting station lockdown.
What? Or this is gonna be one of those. Holy shit! Run! Run! Oh god. There's hard mode and then there's act mode. Caution, cadaver storage capacity exceeded. Oh no. Oh boy. He ain't looking too good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a cutscene like this wasn't in the original game. Oh, okay, it was this room. It was this room. They just turned it into a cutscene. Oh god. Get up, Isaac. Get up. Where did you get that fire extinguisher from? What, he's still alive? Oh god, it's turning the others.
He's farther than I am.
How are you alive? How are you alive? Pistol is all I used in the OG game comp. I called it a pistol. Whoa.
It's a plasma cutter.
I feel like this is new. Was this section in the original? Chapter? Oh, that's so cool that you don't have to go to the tram, like you said. Yeah, this part is new, isn't it? Hell yeah, okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of surprises. Oh, look at this. Look at this secret area. I know I haven't said this often, but thank you, EA. You were in the redemption arc. What if the only reason this game came out is because they told EA they were going to be microtransactions?
Isaac, have you heard from Daniel? We were attacked. She ran the other way.
Man, there's so many items around here. I love being thorough. This is my favorite kind of like sci-fi. Like sci-fi horror. Like I love
But the barricades put together in a hurry. The hydrogen tank might blow it open.
Dead Space,
Just need a
Halo.
detonator, like maybe
I
a
just
shot
have
pack.
like an affinity for these types of
Me through there.
Isaac,
sci-fi horror games.
the one who attacked us.
Media.
I swear to God it was Chance.
Volker's
But-
rig. Oh,
I saw him die.
I also love the audio in
Yeah.
the Zero.
If they barricaded the morgue, maybe it was to keep something in.
They're gonna do too. Like I said, I feel like the reaction and response to this has been nothing short of just like complete praise. So it makes sense that they would, you know? This is awesome. Yes, see, I'm glad that they also added new areas and stuff. That's what I was really hoping for, is that it wouldn't just be like a shot-for-shot remake. We are not punished. But why? Never seen blood on the wall that hit so deep. There's something about Pang. Fucking Pang ads. Can you show us the Fortnite dances you unlocked? God, I hate you.
You gotta quit this area immediately. Well, I don't have a choice.
Real nice one, Space Developers. Real nice one. Good job. Got me again. How much do we want for the dads? And it's dead. Oh, fucking God! You got me again! You got me again with that bullshit! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you get the Ripper. I really like that quote in the beginning where Hammond's like, that was pretty sexy. Oh God, not the black ones. Oh! Fucking hell, man.
Huh.
Oh, got the other one, nice.
Okay, there.
The black ones. The black necromorphs are tougher than all the other ones. Wait, stop! Hold your fire! This man isn't black.
Hold your fire! This man isn't black! What?
I think I'll pause it right here. Oh my gosh! Oh, that's crazy. Insane. Hey, it seems more brutal than Doom 3. Then again, Doom 3 is kind of an older game. So, yeah.
God damn!
Dang, bro.
Fuck it. This guy's legs are made of titanium. Why you gotta do that, man? Just charge me. Just fucking charge me, man.
No, I don't they do that.
Playing mind games.
They like walk and then. Oh, an alarm might be coming off pretty soon on my phone.
What the fuck? How did I just walk into that guy, man?
Dude's running before we started. Someone's gonna start with these fuel lines.
Move fast, Isaac. Egypt 7
Ooh.
close out there.
What the? Whoa. That's the. Whoa! Okay, where's the shit? That was the first glitch I've seen. Oh God, run!
Oh, I hate
Still
those
up.
guys.
Oh.
Oh, I hate them.
Oh. Alright. Let's just stop that idea right there. Okay. So he's still not dead. They're still alive.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Asserting his dominance. Let's take this with us.
How do you throw it?
Oh.
Yeah. That's a weird scorpion leaper looking thing.
This place sucks. Someone touched me and I'm scared. Not to worry. Father is here. Ah! Get back! Demon babies. Oh, mama! Nice try, though. It was a good try. Very good try. As a remake so far, mwah. Like kissing a woman for the first time. Like kissing a woman for the first time.
Alright, it's gonna pause right there. For now, because my alarm's gonna go off. I got a meeting pretty soon. Alright, part 1 out.